Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Josh here, back with another episode of Keep It Techie, where I break down tech in a way that's simple, useful, and help you get ahead in your tech journey. And in today's video, we're setting up Rancher, a powerful management platform for Kubernetes. And we're going to do that right on top of Ubuntu server 24.04. And what I'll do is use Docker just to make it simple for you guys. I just want to show people an easy way of setting it up. I'll walk you through this step by step, and by the end of this video, you'll have a Rancher running in your own lab using a self-signed cert with IP-based access. So no domain or SSL hassles. Plus, we'll deploy a quick test workload just to make sure everything is working. And before we get into it, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel, and let me know if you want more content like this. All right, let's get into it. So I'm at rancher.com. This is the site where you can get everything about Rancher, basically enterprise Kubernetes management. I also wanted to show you guys the GitHub page. This gives you a little bit more information. You can look at the code. It's mostly written in Go. Rancher is an open source container management platform built for organization to deploy containers in production. And so let's go through and set this up. And first thing, let me go down and go to my wiki right fast. And just wanted to show you guys, this is where you can get my Docker script. It also installs Docker Compose. And let me see, do I have a link on here? Probably. And hold on, I forgot. I could just search. So Docker, let's see, Docker and Docker Compose. There we go. That's the page right there. So this basically breaks down the script, but I also have a link to the actual SHA script that you can download and install. And it works perfectly on the latest version of Ubuntu, which is 24. That's the last one I tested on. I haven't tested on 25. I probably need to go through a testing process and just test it on 25. But I was thinking I'll just wait till 26 to run some tests on it. But this is what I'm gonna do on the server. So let's go on and switch over to our terminal because I'm already SSH'd into this server. And the first thing you wanna do is update your system. So what I typically do is just run both of these commands together. So sudo apt update and then ampersand, and let me get that out of there, but sudo apt upgrade and then -y for yes. If there are any upgrades, it'll just, automatically say yes with that. So let's go and press enter there, and that will go on and install any updates on the system. And I don't believe there are any updates for the system because I just updated it. But I just want you guys to get in the habit of doing that each time you're installing any new piece of software on your system. All right, so that's done. Let's switch back over to our website right fast and grab our script. And all you have to do is right click here, hit copy link address, and you'll see link copy, good to go. And then we switch back to the terminal, and all you have to do is type curl and then -s, and then we can paste that link in there. So boom, we can pipe that into sudo bash, and this will run the script for us. Now, if you want to inspect it, don't do it this way. Download the script, inspect the code. And like I said, that's my purpose for creating that website, so you guys can look through the full code, like what I'm actually doing. It's an update. It's going to download specific packages, dependencies. It's going to curl down the key ring, or it's going to add that to your key ring, the actual GPG key for Docker. It's going to install Docker and Docker Compose as well. It's going to add your user to the Docker group. It's going to verify both installations. And then what it's going to do is tell you to restart your system after that. But anyway, if you want to run it like this, you can. Either way, it'll work. So let's jump back to the terminal, and I'm gonna just pipe it through bash, and we'll go down there and run it right fast. And it'll go through and do all those steps we just talked about. Okay, so we are done. Docker is installed. And as you can see, it prints out the Docker version, as well as it just lets you know that Docker and Docker Compose installation completed successfully. So you need to log out and log back in for the group changes to take effect. So let's go down and do that now. All we have to do is exit from our SSH connection and then connect right back to this server, and we're good to go. All right, so we are in the Docker group now, and we can check by typing groups, and we can just type our username in there, and it'll show all the groups that we're in. And it looks like we are not a part of the Docker group. So maybe that's part of my script that's not working. So let's go down and fix that right now, just so we have it all set up before we start, and we can run our Docker commands without using sudo. That's the way I like to run it. We can use our user mods, and we have to type sudo. So sudo user mods. And then what we want to do is append, which is a lowercase a, and then we want to append the group of a specific user. And we want to add this group, the Docker group, to the user Josh. Let's go down and press enter, boom, type in our sudo password, and boom, we are good to go. So if we check our groups again, it'll say we are part of the Docker group. Let me exit out and log back in again, and we should be good to go. But if you see that you're not a part of that group, then you want to just run those commands that I just ran right there. That'll modify your group and add you to that Docker group. That way you can run your Docker commands without typing sudo. What's up, y'all? If you've been watching my channel for a minute, you already know I stay talking about Linux. And if you're looking for a solid, reliable enterprise Linux distro, let me put you on to Rocky Linux. This is the go-to replacement for CentOS, and it's built for the community, by the community. It's got everything you need for a stable and secure Linux experience, whether you're running servers, home labs, or enterprise workloads. And the best part, it's backed by CI/CD, making sure it stays rock solid for the long haul. So if you're tired of these companies pulling a plug on your favorite distros, Rocky Linux is where you need to be. And I've covered Rocky Linux before, and trust me, it's worth checking out. So head over to rockylinux.org to learn more and get started. Keep it techie. Peace. Like for instance, I'll just run Docker PS, boom. That'll let you know what containers are running on the system. That's what that command is for. And I recommend you guys get a Docker cheat sheet. That way you guys could just pull it up and you can see how to run these Docker commands. It's not that difficult once you get the hang of it. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, you can run Docker, and this will run the hello world container. And this is what most people run just to test that Docker is working, and it's hello-world. So don't forget that dash in there. Press enter, and that should download that container to the system. And as you can see, it says hello from Docker. And this is the one people use to basically test that their system is working. So I pulled it down, good to go. So it's working perfectly. All right, with Docker installed, we can go ahead and run the Rancher container. First, let's create a dedicated directory for Rancher's persistence data. So I like to put that in our op directory. So let's go sudo make dir, or you can use -p if you need to, which op should be there. And then we can name the folder rancher-data. So let's go ahead and press enter. It's going to create that directory for us. And that's pretty much where we want to store our Rancher data. Now, here's the command that I will use to launch Rancher. And I'll just drop it in the chat, kind of walk you guys through it so you can see what it is before I run it. Okay, so it is Docker run -d, so that's detach, restore. So that means it's going to run even after the system restarts. So even when it reboots the system, you good to go. Now -p, this is your port. So we're going to run it on port 80. Now you can modify this depending on your network, your home lab. I'm just setting this up temporarily on a temporary server. Then also we're going to specify our volume, which is our data. So this is where it'll be stored under our op directory. We may run into some issues where it won't allow me to store the data there because it don't have permissions. I may need to change the permissions there, but we'll find out in a second. Let's go down and run it. But this is the image it'll pull, Rancher, and it's going to pull the Rancher latest image. And this actual command is Docker command. I pulled directly from their website, basically how to set it up in Docker. And I modified it a little bit and then put it together for you guys. And I'll probably put a link, or I'll put a blog post up or something on my wiki, walking you guys through this full process. So let's go down and press enter so we can go down and run this. And what it's going to first do is download our Rancher image from the Docker hub. So we'll get it all downloaded and then it'll set up the full container. And I'll skip ahead because sometimes this take a little time. All right, so it completely downloaded. So it's probably going through and setting everything up. And let me show you guys something you can do to check to see once the server is actually up. So you can type Docker and then logs and then -f Rancher. Boom. So hold on, we got error. Rancher must be run with the privilege flag when running outside of Kubernetes. That means our container is not running properly, and it's something I forgot to put in the command when we started our container. And so let's go down and stop it, or actually let's see if it's actually even running. So let's go Docker PS, boom, it is running. So let's go down and type Docker stop, and we can use the name that we use to name it, Rancher. And you want to make sure you type it right. And then also we can remove Rancher. So all we have to do is type Docker or -F and then Rancher, and we can remove that container. So it's gone. So we can type Docker PS again, you'll see that that container is gone now. Now I modified our command. So let me remove the data from, well, actually, let me just remove that whole directory. That way I don't have to worry about it. So let's go ops and then rancher data, boom, we'll remove that. And then we'll just find our make directory again, boom, sudo make directory, good to go. So we got us a fresh one. That way we can start fresh. And now let's go on and run our new Docker command. I'll show you guys the difference right fast. So last time we didn't add this in there, but we add this time privileged. That way it'll run properly. And so it should start up cleanly. Let's go on, press enter. And the image is already downloaded. So it should start up properly. And then we can run our logs again, just to check it, just see where it is. So we can go Docker, what was it? Logs, rancher. We can see what's going on. There we go. So that's what I want you guys to see. But I'm glad I had an issue so you guys can actually check it out for yourself or see some of these issues and how to actually solve them. Now, at this point, Rancher, what it's doing right now is generating a self-signed cert automatically. So when we access it by the IP, your browser will throw that, normal warning that you'll see, which is totally expected. And you can bypass that and continue because we're not using a public domain. I didn't want to go through that process of setting up a public domain, which I have extra domains out there that I could use. I just didn't want to go through the trouble of setting all that up. And so that self-signed cert is just fine for our lab environment. And you can kind of just wait around a while for this to finish, like it's creating the admin accounts. All right, so let's go on and close our log right fast. All I did was hit Control-C. And let's try to access it from the browser. And so what you need is the IP address. So IP A, and our IP for this server is 127. Yeah. So let's go back to our browser and let's open up another tab and type in 10.10.0.127. And actually what you want to do is put HTTPS:// and we're good to go. And you'll see the connection is not private. Just click there, proceed. All right, so we are at Rancher. And the first thing you need to do, since we used the run installation, it says basically find the container ID by using Docker PS, which we did already. And then we need to run Docker log container ID. And we want to grep for the bootstrap password. So let's just copy this command right fast. And what I'm gonna do is put that in a text file. So I always like to have text files open. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm putting that command there. That way, when I switch back over to our terminal, we can type the Docker PS command, get our ID, because we need to put that ID in there right fast. So this is our container ID, and then copy. And what I'm doing is putting that ID into that command that we copied from the website, boom. And then what I'm gonna do is copy this command and put it into the terminal so you guys can see it. And what it's gonna do is grep for the bootstrap password using our ID in the logs. So let's go down and press enter. This will find a password for us. All we have to do is grab this long password that is generated for us, boom. And all we have to do is switch back over to our site and paste that password in, log in, and this will log us into the server. And then we can set up a user account. You can copy this password if you want to, or you can set a specific password if you want to. It all depends on however you want to do it. I'm gonna copy this one and store it in my text file as well. That'll be our admin password. And then I'm gonna click this and hit continue. It'll use that password. Boom, hit continue, and it's gonna save that admin password. And now we're gonna log into Rancher and we're good to go. So pretty much you'll land on the dashboard, and even though there's no clusters running yet, the interface is clean and powerful. So Rancher actually includes a lightweight Kubernetes distro, which is K3S, and we can spin that up right inside of Rancher. So let's go ahead and add a cluster. And so from the dashboard, all you had to do is click create. And then all you had to do is give it a couple seconds and it will create our K3S. Now, after a couple minutes, the cluster will be marked as active, just like mine. And so let's deploy a simple workload just to test it out. So what I'm gonna do is click on the cluster itself. This will bring up all the information about the cluster. You'll see total resources, the amount of nodes, deployments, pods, CPU, memory, usage, all that information there, as well as events and all that good stuff. Now, what I want you guys to do is go over to workloads, and all you have to do is hit create. And what you want to do is click deployments. And let's go down and name the deployment, and we could just name it, I don't know, like let's try Nginx-demo. Let's name it that. And you can put a description if you want to, but this is just a demo. I'm gonna delete this afterwards. And you can specify the container image. And so what I'm gonna do is just, I already kind of know, let's see, let's go Nginx and then colon, let's type latest. And so that'll grab the latest one for us. And then the namespace, we can leave default, that's fine. And we can have one replica, that's fine. Now, if we go down here to networking, we can actually modify this. So let's go up in here and under here, let's just keep it simple. Let's put no ports. And then what we're gonna name it is Nginx service. And then we can use port 80 again, boom. And then TCP, that's fine. And then the listening port, what you want to do is leave it blank, and this will let Kubernetes auto assign one, and it will typically grab something outside of that 3000 range when it comes to ports. So you could just leave it, or let's go down and set it manually, that way we can find it. So let's just put something random, so 30880, that's fine. That way we can get to it. I know exactly what port to get to it. Now all we have to do is hit create, and this will create our image. You'll see it down here. The Nginx demo is updating. That means it's just downloading the image and all that stuff, and then you'll see it. Once it says active, then we can go over and check it out. All right, and as you can see, it didn't take too long. It's active now. All right, and so sometimes it's hard to find the IP address because of the way this thing is set up. But to quickly get to it, one way I've done it, you can go under services, and you see right here where it says Nginx service. You can click here, and this will take you to the actual demo page. So boom, that'll open up the demo page. Welcome to Nginx. That lets you know that the service is actually running. Now that you got Rancher installed and managed a local K3s cluster, here are a few notes. Let me go down and show you guys how to stop Rancher. So let's go back to our terminal. I'm gonna show you guys some terminal commands, some Docker commands, but just show you guys how to stop it right fast. All you have to do is run Docker stop and then Rancher. Boom, press enter. That'll stop the container for us. And then we can also restart it if we want to. We could just type Docker start, and that'll start the Rancher container for us. Let's say we want to view the logs again. Like I showed you guys a little earlier, you can understand how to actually look through everything, troubleshoot if you need to. So that'll show you the logs. Right now it lies in the K3s server. Let's hit Control-C, that'll close out our logs. But if you totally want to get rid of it, you could do it like what we did a little earlier. So just wanted to show you guys how to get back to square one if you wanted to. Now, one thing you also want to do is if you're planning on using this as production, you may want to back up that directory, and you can compress it, all that stuff using sync and Tor or something to that effect, and you can copy it over to a backup server. And just like that, you have installed Rancher on Ubuntu 24.04 using Docker, fully functional, running locally, and ready for whatever you want to build next. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to KeepItTechie. I post weekly videos to help folks break into tech and level up your skills using Linux. Also, check the description for links to the Docker install script, as well as the Rancher documentation and any config files I may have mentioned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Yo, what's up, y'all? Listen, if you've been sitting there thinking about making a move, let me tell you, tech is where it's at. I don't care where you coming from, whether you've got a degree, a GED, or just pure hustle. There's room for you in this game. You see, tech is more than just keyboards and code. It's solving problems, creating opportunities, and building the future. You already have what it takes, because tech doesn't care where you start. It cares where you're willing to go. You can teach yourself Linux, learn Python, break into cybersecurity, or even launch your own app. And the resources are out here for free. And yes, you heard me, free. Now, yeah, it's gonna take effort. You'll have to grind, but think about this. The time is gonna pass anyway. So why not invest it in a skill that'll change your life? I mean, tech doesn't just pay the bills, it opens doors to freedom, stability, and generational wealth. So stop doubting yourself, Start small, stay consistent, and keep building. Because this isn't just a career, it's a movement. And guess what? You belong here. So let's get it, because the future is yours to build. Keep it techie.